Hello out there, Flosstube. It's Cowgirl Kate here, and yeah, it has been a long time. My apologies for that. Um, in a new place, as you can see, for recording videos. Welcome to my studio, Mustang Gallery. So here we are, finally. It's been several months. I want to welcome any new subscribers if anybody happened upon my channel in this long absence. Oh my goodness. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. And if you're new, welcome. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. Where the heck have I been? Well, a little bit of everywhere. For starters, you know, we got this new addition built on the house over the summer, so that kept us quite busy. It's still a work in progress because I haven't got it decorated. It's a workspace, so primarily it's stuff everywhere yet. What can I say? But I'm loving every minute that I get to spend out here, so that part has just been amazing. Stitching progress has not really been phenomenal. I will admit that right off the start, just because having this space means lots of other things are getting attention, which is a blessing. So I've been so fortunate as to spend some time painting and beading and miscellaneous other things. Oh, it is. Oh, you know what? If you are so fortunate as to feel the need to create stuff, run with it, because boy, you try to bottle that up and it kind of eats your soul a little bit at a time, and the flavor's not good either. It's like broccoli or something. But anyway, I digress. Other things that have been going on, I think the last time I did a video was in March, I think. Sometime around there. I know it's been several months, and I haven't even been looking at YouTube for the last couple of months. I have no idea what's going on out there in the community. I only started getting back into Facebook and the stitching groups like a couple weeks ago. And it's just because that's how my time has been, and some health issues, but you know, we'll get there. I will get caught up. I tell myself every time I fall behind, I will get caught up. And yeah, I will. Eventually. So, stitching wise, the summer has been amazing. I was so fortunate as to go to a finishing retreat, and that was held in Osage, Iowa at the Stitchery Nook. If you've never been there, go. Oh my goodness. It's bar none the biggest needlework store I have ever had the pleasure of being in. If they don't have it, they can probably get it. Not saying that might be the same as far as out of print patterns or anything like that, but typically they can get things that are available, and they have a lot of older things as well. Above the store itself, they have a retreat center, which is fantastic. It's, oh my goodness, it is just so wonderful. They have a full kitchen that you can use. They have an elevator lift, so you don't have to use the stairs if you don't want to. Giant rooms, flat screen TVs. I think there's a fireplace in there, but I've never, you know, had to use it. I guess maybe just because of the times I've been there, but I think there's a fireplace. I don't know. I'm always so busy talking to people, I don't really notice everything around me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yes, Sherry and Liz, they know their stuff, and they're wonderful people. So if either of you girls happen to be watching, love yous. Hope to see you again soon. I know it's been a busy summer. I need to get back. But anyway, the retreat that they held in July was fantastic. So shout out to all the ladies who were there. Holly and Anita from Flosstube were there. Deb and her sister Kathy were there. Oh goodness, several designers were there. It was just 4 days of heaven, just for me especially, to just not have to think about anything else but what project I was going to work on, and talking to all these fantastic people and learning stuff, because we learned how to do finishes. And I'm just noticing that my finish is like way over there hanging on the wall out of reach, but I ain't gonna worry about it. I can show that in another video. What stitching that did get done over these last few months, why don't we get into that before I rattle on anymore. First off, we'll start with the big one. It's a chatelaine, and it is the Desert Mandala. And I'm hoping I can fit it all in the frame. There we go. So, here is the progress on it. Let me see if I can get some close-ups on that. And currently, I'm working on this specialty stitch border up in here. And then I will be starting, there are some panels with scenes on the 4 sides, and I plan to change that to have my burros and my Mustang in there, because they came from the American Southwest. So this one's kind of like a fun yet intricate little tribute to my journey with those guys. So that one has been staying on the Q-snaps, oh my goodness, since the spring. If you follow me on Instagram, it's the same name as here. There's lots of progress pictures of the journey with that chatelaine, and it is one of my favorite projects. I have a hard time putting it down when I pick it up, but they're all like that, right? Next up is Song of the Heartland, and this is one that I have designed myself. So there is the information, and here is how far the current progress is. I worked on this one at the retreat for a little bit, and what I worked on there was the start of Tango, the start of, let's see, who is this one? Oh, this is Sherman, our ram, and then over here is the start of Peeps, and she was our first bottle lamb. A lot of fun stories with her. So that is Song of the Heartland by yours truly, and it's getting there, slow and steady, right? It has to be slow and steady, otherwise I don't have a prayer. A new start that I had this summer was One Nation, and this is what it looks like. And I have changed all the colors in it. I wanted a more aged feel to it, and I wanted to do it in silks. So I just, while I was at Osage, I just, chose my colors and ran with that. And it's done in, Gloriana's. And here's what it looks like. The fabric is one that I hand dyed myself, and I used tan Rit dye, but instead of doing it the sprinkle and the ice way, I actually made it a liquid and then dyed it like that. And it looks very old. This one will be a present for my husband because he's very much into patriotic, and we're both into cowboys and Native American, and yeah, we love this country. So that's how that goes. So that one will be for him, but he doesn't even know it and he doesn't pay attention, so yeah. Another one that I worked on was Merida. There we go. And you can get her from Pinky the Pink on Etsy. It's called Princess Merida in Muka style, designed by Hannah Alexander of Deviant Art. But Pinky the Pink is the person who's converted it into cross stitch, and they're big patterns, but they're very simple and laid out, and they're just fantastic to work on. And this is how far she's gotten. Just a little more skirt. I didn't I didn't spend a whole lot of time on this one. It was more just for a change of pace, and my summer months kind of got crazy through August and September, so what can I say? I kind of fell behind, and you know. Another new start. Well, I can't really. No, it was not a new start. See, I can't even keep track of my own crap anymore. That's how it goes sometimes. Anyway, this one was not a new start, but I did work on it for September 11th in honor of Patriot Day, and it is this one, Star Spangled Banner, and it is by Northern Expressions Needlework. And it too is on a fabric that I hand dyed myself. This one I used brown. I think just ordinary brown. And I did a little bit of liquid and a little bit of ice dye to give it an old-time feel. And this one will also be for my husband when it's finished. He's a very hard person to find stuff that would even interest him remotely, that he would be, anywhere near excited to have. I mean, he sees me working on this stuff all the time, but there's no way he's going to want something like a Mirabilia in his man cave or whatever. So, to find subjects that he would be interested in is a challenge. So I'm pretty safe with something patriotic like the flag, or that sort of thing. Something a bit complex and not cutesy. He's not into cutesy stuff. So those two fit the bill, and whenever they get finished, they'll go up down in his man cave, probably next to John Wayne or such, and there you go. So the other project that I worked on in September, this was a September one, was Lizzie Kate, and it was this one, and that was in honor of our anniversary, 20 years. Loving every minute. And this is how far that I've gotten on that. And this one I keep in the bag as a travel project, and hopefully, it'll get finished one of these days. And yeah, and I'll probably frame that for like in the main area of the house. So that is what stitching I have been up to. Oh my goodness. Last but not least, I can't forget this one, but it's kind of, on a wobbly kind of frame. So bear with me while I get it ready. But it is hardly started, and I dragged it back out. And it is the Stitching Leporello by Chatelaine. And I'm doing that as a stitch along with Deb and her sister Kathy. So hi girls, if you happen to be watching. I hope everything's going great with you and we can actually get together again soon. The three of us are working on various versions of this project, and if you're interested in joining us, why, that'd be awesome too. So feel free. It's just kind of a fun little thing we're doing, and I will be posting pictures of progress on Instagram and probably the Chatelaine Facebook group as I get more progress on it. As from what you've seen, there is not a lot of progress on it just yet, but it'll get there. I'll be leaving that one on the scroll frame as well till probably through the winter, just spare minutes, So that's kind of what my stitching has been up to, and I thought I would put that out first, so if anybody wanted to just stick around for the stitching, it'd be a lot easier for them to do that. And if you want to continue on with the life update, well, feel free. If not, thank you for sticking with me this far. I know it's been a while, and I hope to see you again next time. But what has been going on here lately besides the studio? Well, we have a couple of fosters again. Well, 3 of them actually. One's a bit older. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen pictures of a little cat that we call Miss. And she's just a fluffy tabby that a lady in town, maybe an hour from here, got a hold of us and said, hey, I got this little cat. I'm scared she's going to get run over or neighborhood kids are going to pick on her. Can you take her? How do you say no to that? So she came to live with us a couple of months ago, and she's fun. In fact, now that she's discovered being a jaguar outside is great. She likes to go outside in the morning, and then she just comes in whenever she's hungry or, you know, comes to the door. She just kind of sets her own schedule. And so she'll be staying with us here in the house probably through the winter, and then, you know, next spring when it warms up again, she'll probably want to go back outside and tear around like a jaguar, because that's what she thinks she is. So there's Miss, and then we have 2 other little tiny ones that we got a couple of weeks ago, maybe even 3 weeks ago. I can't keep track anymore. Anyway, they came from the same place as Miss, and the mother cat had abandoned them in this lady's yard and never came back. So again, the owner of the house was afraid that something happened to the mother or that she had abandoned them, so she tried to keep track of them for a couple of days and then called us again. I hope this doesn't get to be a habit because she feeds a lot of strays, but at the same time, you know, they gotta eat too. So we now have 2 little babies. They're weaned off the bottle now, so it's been a lot easier, and they're fat and sassy, and I post little updates of them on Instagram quite a bit, just because they're in that fun stage where they're little toddlers running around. So that's been keeping me busy. We don't have lambs coming in this fall, which is kind of nice because, oh my goodness, that was kind of intense last year, and we only now just turned the bucks out with the ewes, so we'll be getting lambs probably 5 months, I think. Yeah, so 5 months. So it'll be later, toward the normal time. And the reason we did that was we wanted to get the whole flock in sync so that we aren't having scattered groups here and there, because it just seemed like we were lambing all the time for months on end. Now we've got everybody synchronized. Hopefully it's kind of where we only lose sleep for like a couple months compared to a whole bunch of months. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's what's going on with the sheep. Goats, we have a few mamas that are expecting. They'll be dropping their babies pretty soon here. So that's been exciting. And then, yeah, it's just kind of, what else? We weaned calves. We did that 2 days ago, and they finally stopped singing about it. Now, if you don't know the process of weaning calves, well, it's like this. At a certain age, the mothers get sick of their kids, and the calves are sick of their moms, except at dinner time. So they kind of separate themselves off anyway, because, you know, the calves are rowdy and the cows are more focused on where the good eating is. So you kind of have 2 dynamics there. So the first time weaning them is very smooth. You basically bring everybody up to the barn, the cows are all going ahead and the calves lag behind. So it's just a matter of closing the gate after the last cow goes in and shutting the gate to the pen where the calves are the last to go in. Easy peasy, right? No. Because after a day or so, everybody starts yelling at each other. Where are you? Even though they can see each other through the gates, they can sit next to each other in the barn. They just can't reach through the gates to nurse. It's like, oh my God, they've lost their blooming mind. Well, okay. So there are sure to be escape attempts. And we had an escape attempt yesterday morning, which was not fun because they went everywhere. And you would think these great big calves would not be able to squeeze or crawl through the spaces they do, but they can. It's like they're octopuses and their bones just dissolve and they squeeze through and then poof, they're back to their normal shape and away they go. Well, hopefully now, knock on wood, everybody's where they need to be. No more calves being where they're naughty and not supposed to be. And this morning it's a little quieter out there, so I think the cows are over it. It's just the calves are still kind of like, where are you? I'm hungry and I want milk. Well, you can't do that, because if they're on the mothers too long, that takes a lot of resources away from the mother, and these calves are plenty big enough where they've already been eating solid food on their own for how long, so it's fine. They just need to, put on their big boy pants and grow up. So as far as those, it'll be a few more weeks where they'll get used to being weaned and on their own, and then we'll get the bulls taken care of. So that'll mean everybody goes up to the vet, they get their vaccinations, they get their procedures done, we bring them back, and they recover from all of that for a couple weeks and make sure everybody's going good. And then we will actually be having some for 4-H kids next year. So my husband is really excited about that because it'll be fun to go to different fairs and see how his calves do, as show animals. So he's been waiting for that for a long time. So it'll be fun to, see that through his eyes. So that's pretty much the farm animal update. Horses are doing really good. If you follow me on Instagram, there's the horse mask. It's still finished. I have not had a nice weather or a feeling good day where I could take it outside and try it on the horses yet, but it'll get there. The second mask that I completed, they have already tried it on and nobody was all fussed about it, so it's all good. I think they're ready for the more expensive one, you could say, because I really don't want anything to happen to that. But they were so good about the other one that I don't need to worry too much about that. But I'll probably have them wear a halter when I put this one on, just because you never know. They might get to squirreling around, and I would hate to see it, running across a pasture and there it is. That's not safe in and of itself, but yeah, so safety first. And as far as myself, it's been kind of a tough year. I mean, there's been so many blessings, don't get me wrong, oh my goodness, so many good things going on. It's just, I haven't felt up to par to enjoy them fully, and I can't wait until I do. So, we're dealing with that, and we'll get it taken care of. It's just a matter of crossing off things as we go down the list to find out what it is. A lot of it is sinus issues, and they're trying to track down the source of why that is. Through the process of all of that, they found an abscess in my jaw that is like the size of a marble. So it's been a lot of, oh my goodness, very strong drugs. And it feels like I've been on drugs since last October when this all started. But we're getting to the bottom of things, and hopefully once that's all cleared up, that might hopefully take care of the sinus things too. So fingers crossed, I won't have to deal with anything else once this is taken care of. So, that too has kind of kept me off the internet and what have you, and not doing a whole lot of videos or Facebook. I mean, those things just kind of fell off to the side, which is sad because there's a lot of wonderful things in those groups and on YouTube that I've been missing out on. I just haven't had the energy for. So hopefully that all changes. Fingers crossed, right? And that's pretty much what has been going on with my crazy life. But it's all good. And I'm really looking forward now to another round of winter, because that's my primary indoor time where I can just let the creativity fly. And now I got a space big enough to really unleash it. So it's going to be really fantastic. I can't wait. I have the magpie news. I'm hoping to get a couple more designs out. That was also one of the things that kind of fell down to the wayside. I just couldn't deal with staring at computers or figuring things out, and you know, good Lord, if I'd released something and there was issues with it, you know, I wanted to be on my game to be able to not have that happen, first of all, but if it were, that I would be able to take care of it immediately. So the Eye of the Magpie thing is kind of installed in the water, but we'll get there too. It's just one of those things, you know, you kind of have to pick and choose, and with all the animals that, you know, kind of depend on us, they kind of took the priority over pretty much everything else. So, you know, it'll come back. It'll get there. I'm very much looking forward to this winter when I can bring it back up again. So, besides that, harvest has started. It was probably the first time I have ever in my life, and I know my husband's life, and our in-laws, and pretty much everybody in our area, we started combining in September, and that's usually when we're making third crop hay. You know, to get the combines out in September is weird, very weird, and this whole year has just been kind of weird as far as nature and farming and everything else. Everything just seems really off, and you know, it just makes me wonder what the heck is going on. So that's kind of what we've been all doing, and it's a lot of busy. We're not done with harvesting yet. We've only just started, and we had like a day or two of really good days to do that, and ever since then it's been raining too much. So take it while you can. The sun will come out eventually, right? And then we can finish up. But it's a process. That's pretty much, boy, I can't think of anything else. And I don't want to sit here and ramble, even though I'm, you know, happy to be back again. I don't want to waste your time either. So I guess on that note, I will be doing another video here soon about Dark October and 13 for Halloween stitching. Very excited about that. You know, today's October 2nd, so it's, you know, we're right in it. And oh my goodness, what a fun thing. So yeah, if you are interested in those, Instagram, the Stitchers Coven is talking about all these stitch-alongs and stuff that they're doing. I'm sure there's stuff on Stitch Mania, but I haven't been in there very much to even know what the heck is going on there. But, you know, like I said, we'll get there. And as far as videos on Flosstube, I've been slowly catching up with people, and if I have time, I leave a comment. If I don't have much time, I put a like on it. So rest assured, if I'm able to watch, I am enjoying it, because it's so wonderful to see all this passion for this hobby, and oh my goodness, just all the wonderful people out there who are sharing about it. And on that note, I think I'll wrap this up, because I'm not sure what my time is, but I've been talking for quite a while and I don't want this to be too long. So I will see you all again very shortly. Fingers crossed. And in the meantime, I hope you take care of yourselves. Keep on sharing all your wonderful things. There's so many people out in this world that are just, you know, loving what you do, and yeah, it brings a lot of joy. So please keep doing it. So I will take my leave now, and you all take care.